Good morning, Overtime Garage fans. I'm about to rip into this 5.3 LS and put a couple gaskets in place. This thing is leaking like a sieve. And I probably told you about this before, but now I'm finally getting around to it. So I'm just gonna set this up and let you watch. And I'm gonna crank up the music too. Goes the flex plate. We're getting at what we need. Look at that. There's a stream of oil directly below it. I wonder where it's leaking from. You can see that. And it's either the rear main or the oil pan gasket, but I'm betting on rear main just because that's how those leak, like streams, tons. So see it? And then, oh, let's look at this. There's the new one. And then this gasket is for this cover, rear main seal cover. It's a opposite of a timing cover because that's on the front, it's on the rear. So yeah, let's swap it. So managed to pull the transmission apart from the engine, and you probably couldn't tell much from the time-lapse video, so showing you the bell housing bolts pulled out, and then of course the flywheel is attached to the crank side and to the torque converter side. Just has three bolts on this side, so you got to undo those 3 torque converter bolts from this side of the flywheel, and then it'll pull away and leave the flywheel here. And then I took these out with Elena, and now we got access to that rear main seal and the cover gasket. And then we'll also do the oil pan gasket here. So there's the parts. Let's finish her off. Okay, we're about ready to reassemble, and before I do that, just wanted to show you something. So here's the new seal, rear main, and this doesn't have an obvious inside-outside really, but you don't want to put it on the wrong way, so showing this to you closely. This side with the crimp marks goes in toward the back of the motor, and there's a nice indicator on here I finally found says this side out. There it is. This side out. It's really small letters. Just confirmation. And then this white plastic thing is a carrier. So when we slide that on, I'm keeping it on there for now until I get that pressed into the rear main cover. And then this can only go one way. There's a bump out here. When I get this back up on there, I want to do that first before I put the pan on, because it'll meet the pan down here directly. So we don't want to put this on after. I guess you could, but my plan is to get that on there, and then we'll put a little dab of sealant here where those two parts mate, right around this area here. And then to show you underneath, they would have put a little dab of sealant right here. I cleaned it off when I was cleaning this up. Showing you what it looks like. And there's the new pan seal set in place. I don't know if you noticed, I had to drill a rivet out. It was right here on the original. And that's how they assemble those from the factory, I guess. There's the hole for it. And then I pushed it down through with a punch just to get it out of the way. But the new one doesn't have it, so just line that baby up. Bolt it up. I'll show you that if we were doing the front cover, it'd be a similar situation. And there you can see in orange that little bead of sealant there on both sides. And just want to look down in the bottom of this cover. Looks terrible. It's got sludge in it, over 220,000 miles, I think. That's what it had. Rest of the pan's not too bad, but yeah, that builds up down there, so interesting what it looks like. The oil pump, you don't want picking up that stuff, and so I'll actually probably clean most of that out of there, but that's how it survives, is that stuff settles at the bottom and stays out of the way of the pump. And then after that oil gets picked up, it goes through the filter right here also. So anyway, just interesting to see what is under these and behind stuff. So I will get it back together now. Okay, let me show you one more thing. I forgot. If you're just gonna take off the rear cover and do a main seal only, which you can do, take out all those bolts. There are two underneath, just to make you aware. Oh, there we go. There's one here and there's a little boss you can see. And anyway, they're a really long, here it is, a really long 10mm skinny bolt that comes up through the pan. So make sure you take those two out on the bottom side if you're just gonna do that rear main cover and seal. You can try and dig the seal out and not do the cover gasket. That is an option also. But you just want to be really careful you don't score the inside of this cover or the outside of this crank surface and make it leaky. And my seal was jammed in there. I mean, it was stuck in there tight, so it was nice to have the cover off and I could push it from the inside out, because otherwise it's really tough to dislodge. I have done it before, taking the seal out from the outside out, but it was tough, and now I sort of get why it was pretty stuck. Anyways, we'll carry on.